Well, well, would you look at you. Normally it's like a pool hall up in this motherfucker. Today it's like a fucking church. I take it the field went well, yeah? Yeah, now you know how hard it is to dig a fighting hole and then go for 3 days without sleep afterwards. Alright, ladies and gents. I won't fucking beat you over the head then. Y'all are tired, I dig it. Let's learn about a badass battle. Get some motivation back. Then y'all can go play in the sand some more. We're going to be learning about the Keys Loop today. Yeah, I see that perked you up. Just about all of you have heard of Captain Keyes, huh? Man was a goddamn strategic genius, a motherfucking hero, and we are going to use that genius to showcase a battle where humanity was heavily outnumbered and outgunned. Pretty much the opposite of the Second Battle of Harvest. So let's get started, gents, shall we? Alright. Sigma Octanus 4. At the time, Captain Keyes was just a commander, in charge of a single destroyer, the UNSC Iroquois. Word went out that Octanus was about to get itself attacked by the Covenant, and our boy, Commander Keyes, was the first to arrive on scene with his vessel. Unfortunately for him, the Covenant arrived soon afterwards. Not only was he outnumbered, but the enemy's ships far outclassed his own. 1 carrier, a light destroyer, and 2 frigates. Against a single destroyer, gents. We've already seen how dangerous Covenant ships can be. A single heavy destroyer took on an entire fleet at Harvest, the largest space fleet that we had put together up until that point, and it still nearly won. So this was a bad day for Commander Keyes. And what did he do? Did he order the retreat? Did he fall back behind the planet and allow the enemy to land unmolested? Hell fucking no, gents. Keyes knew that if he fell back, the enemy would essentially have free run of the planet before reinforcements could arrive. The Covenant task force was more than large enough to take the world, so he had only one real option that would at least give us a fighting chance in the upcoming battle. Attack. Delay the enemy and do as much damage as he could. This shit is important, gents, because it's something that all of us have to wrestle with. Just the nature of the fucking gun club that we find ourselves in. We will face death. Look around the room right now, at the tired ass motherfucker to your right and the tired ass motherfucker to your left. A lot of you in here, in this room right now, you will not survive this war. That's right. You need to accept your mortality, and then you need to decide to spend it in a way that helps the human race. And that was exactly what Commander Keyes did. He ordered the Iroquois into a collision course with the enemy destroyer. All engines, damn the fucking torpedoes, full speed ahead. At the same time, he ordered a nuclear missile launched on a very specific trajectory, which seemingly was in the opposite direction of the enemy. The 2 Covenant frigates responded by launching a single plasma torpedo each, more than enough to destroy the Iroquois. Keyes kept his charge up. He waited, and at the very last second, he used the vessel's emergency thrusters to suddenly shift their trajectory. The plasma torpedoes missed, just barely. But y'all know how Covenant weapons work. Those goddamn torpedoes turned themselves around and started tracking the Iroquois. Meanwhile, the Covenant vessels were getting closer and closer. The sheer audacity of Keyes' attack caught them on the back foot, and they had trouble formulating a response. This is why taking the initiative like this can be so important, gents. It can flabbergast your enemy, and it takes time for them to recover. Commander Keyes was counting on that, and the Iroquois bore down on the enemy destroyer. Once again, Commander Keyes ordered a last-minute course correction. The Iroquois pulled up, veering off of a direct collision course, and scraped across the top of the enemy ship. It completely sheared straight through the Covenant shields, but also the entire lower portion of the Iroquois, breaching every single deck on the bottom of the ship. And this is where the genius of Captain Keyes' plan came to light. The trailing plasma torpedoes that the Covenant had fired slammed into the now unprotected Covenant destroyer. The momentum of the attack carried the Iroquois forward, and Commander Keyes fired Archer missiles to their rear as they blew past the enemy battle line. The missiles slammed into the Covenant ship, finishing it off, while the Iroquois engaged in a slingshot orbit around the planet. Just as it was doing so, slipping out beyond the range of Covenant guns, the nuclear missile showed up. You see, Commander Keyes had planned the Shiva's trajectory very well, and though it had looked like it was heading in the opposite direction, it was really engaged in a very wide loop. The nuke detonated amid the Covenant forces, as the Iroquois was partially shielded by the planet. The bomb didn't really hurt them, but it did drop their shields, leaving them exposed. And that was when the Iroquois came back into range. They came whipping around the planet at full speed, an absolute slingshot. Keyes knew that despite the success of his charge, he was now heavily on the back foot. His ship was nearly dead in the water, breached along its entire length, and 15% of the electronics blown by the EMP from the nuke. He had to hit them while they were still stunned, or they were going to die. So he gave them everything he had, all of his aggression, all of his munitions. The MAC cannons opened up, heavy rounds struck both of the frigates, along with another salvo of Archer missiles, finishing them off. The two frigates went down burning, and the Covenant carrier withdrew from the battle, its escorts destroyed, and probably knowing that UNSC reinforcements were inbound. They managed to get off an expeditionary force to land on Sigma Octanus, but overall, Keyes had managed to drive away the Covenant invasion force. The enemy would return later with a larger fleet, but by then the UNSC was able to mobilize more ships in defense, and the campaign on Sigma Octanus 4 was one of the only really successful ones of the war. Several cities were destroyed, and massive casualties were inflicted. But the planet escaped glassing. It is still a world to this day, and if you fucking ask me, that makes a huge difference. This maneuver was brilliant, gents. Nothing short of brilliant. Captain Keyes was able to come up with a plan of attack and execute it to perfection on the spot. He saw that his situation was unwinnable, victory a distant and unattainable thing. And what did he do? He improvised, he adapted, he overcame. Oh shit. Looks like I woke you up a little bit, huh? Alright. Well, Captain Keyes, he knew that his own weapons were not up to par, and so he turned the enemy's strength against them. This is what you have to do, ladies and gents. You fucking listening? He turned the enemy's strength against them. This is really the key to fighting an overwhelming force. If they have numbers, you find ground to fight on that takes their numbers away, like the Spartans at Thermopylae. If they have overwhelming firepower, well, then you find a way to turn that firepower back against them. You must know your enemy, but more than that, you must know yourself, and you must know the ways of warfare. Captain Keyes was a consummate professional. He was a complicated man, as many humans are, but he was a good soldier. He knew his job down to a T, was well studied, well trained, and when the moment came, he put those things into action. You too need to be able to do this, and you need to be able to do it on the fly. You must be able to improvise, to adapt, to take the initiative in the moment, even without orders. This is why I harp on you guys about the Commandant's reading list. That shit ain't just for points towards promotion, gents. The Commandant chose those books for a reason. You can learn a lot from them, the fundamentals of warfare, but more than that, you can learn about yourself. You can learn to accept your own mortality, to dedicate yourself fully to the cause, to humanity over the individual. And when you do, you will be unbeatable, even by a clearly superior enemy. We need y'all to realize this. We need it. The Banished are out there right now, pushing humanity closer to extinction than we have ever been. And you know that's fucking saying something. We need to emulate Captain Keyes, to become the kind of warriors that can think and act on their own in service to a greater whole. I want y'all to study this battle again, gents, on your own time, for real. You know I don't often give homework, but I'm giving it today. Aww. Yeah, settle your shit. I want you to read about the Keyes Loop, and I want you to write a one-page essay that tells me how you would have handled the situation if you had been in command of the Iroquois. Do you agree with Captain Keyes' decision, or do you think it was too big a risk, even if it paid off? Tell me why you feel that way. I want to see how you think, guys, so fucking show me. Alright. That's all I got for you today. Y'all are stuck in this fucking classroom today. The CO is taking it easy on you bitches since you got back from the field and you clearly are broke off as hell. Sergeant Bloomfield will be here soon, and he's gonna go over target identification. Aww. God damn it. Yeah, I get it. Death by lecture today, ladies and gents. It's how it fucking goes. We gotta give your broken fucking bodies time to recover from the harshness of the field. Alright? So sit tight. If you need to use the head, fucking do it now. The next time that we have class, we're going to talk more about Admiral Cole. We're gonna go over his last stand. Yeah, I hope y'all are ready for it. Good morning, Sergeant. They're all yours.